So, how can you configure the payables agent quickly, like in a faster way or in a better way? Because the first step before you even configure the payables agent is to go to email accounts and create an email account. You take these steps first so that when you go to the settings, you choose either Microsoft 365 mailboxes or the current user. And when you go to the settings, you'll find the email account that has been configured already from this side and be able to pick it from the payables agent settings. And you can select the specific email account from the options that have been set up on the other side. And you just activate the payables agent.
Hii ni TekNaMsangi ya jishinde.com.
Just a moment, and then once activated, you are able to receive, like I've just sent an email from the payables agent. So from this pen, you're able to see like now it shows that it's active. It has received 2 emails. It hasn't done anything in terms of invoices and created anything, but it has received 2 emails so far. And if I review, I am able to see the kind of emails that have been received. So I have used the samples that were shared by Microsoft test samples, and I really want to put it to test with a different sample, but definitely it's saying that I've just said we have a few invoices, and if I just view, it's showing where it's coming from, and we can see that this is the invoice from Kronos, and for the license fee, remember the payables agent processes PDF documents. So um, the payables accounting, and a vendor will send an invoice in form of a PDF. So this is what it's trying to process, the attachment in the document. Differently from the sales order agent, which ideally looks at mostly the email content and the attachment, but this one specifically looks at the attachment that you have, and the task will be in progress and the next steps will appear here. So once it creates, before it finalizes creating the document, inbound e-documents, that's where uh, the agent will have the information, and you can see once it receives the information, it will create an inbound e-document that contains the details and the draft, and it's already telling me that it cannot identify the vendor, where I can go ahead and just select a random vendor to associate this particular agent with this vendor, and maybe say that the licensing fee will be part of this GL account, or maybe for this particular fee, is it direct posting? Yes, direct posting. And then we are able now to process this particular invoice, and I can say, so now I have also an option now to give instructions to the agent to create a vendor, for example, if this vendor is not existing. But for me, I have selected this vendor, but let me try the create vendor instruction so that it creates a different vendor based on the information that has been sent from this particular vendor, or the email that the vendor has refused, has come, has brought it in. But of course, I've confused this particular e-document. I should have created the vendor before. And these are the steps that you can follow and be able to create an invoice. Let's take a few minutes and see what the task in progress will look like in terms of the agent, and we can review. So this is now the human in the loop. Since I already selected this particular vendor, then I'll proceed, but I can give instructions. If I unselect this Graphics Institute, I can create a vendor. But let's proceed just for the purpose of speed here, and I can say now, just continue without an instruction. Let me see what the agent will do based on the training that the agent has. All right, so the task is in progress. The steps will appear once they're ready. They're completed or ready for review. We are able to see this great window for our agent. So when you look at the document logs, it contains the what has been happening behind the scenes from the agent perspective. And there is a draft here for a purchase invoice. And of course, now the agent has ended the task because it has created a PO to this particular vendor. And if I created the vendor, but maybe we will look at it in the next video, probably. If I create the vendor because it has created the purchase invoice for us based on that information, so then incoming e-document has been converted, inbound e-document has been converted to a purchase invoice, and this is the invoice already. We can see the details of this particular invoice from the e-document, also factoring in the currency code and every other information that was received there. So when it creates a vendor, it usually creates a vendor who is having a status blocked all, because the vendor is being created by the agent, but before the vendor can transact, you need to explicitly be able to state that I agree that this particular vendor is correct, or I have reviewed the vendor and made sure that every information that the vendor was created, it's fine. So now it has saved me 5 minutes on invoices, and it has created one invoice. So I am able to see what the agent has been able to do. So that's it for day 2 of 30 days of AL. We will proceed tomorrow with day 3.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss the next one.